If there ever was a more beautiful song about people getting eaten by mythical creatures, dinosaurs, um, it's Jurassic Park. I mean, Jaws, it was two notes. Da-da, da-da, da-da-da. Not that much going on, though. You know, the song, you hear those notes. We got Sacco here allegedly. I don't know. He's a new guy. Who else is left? Who's smoking what? Who's smoking what? Jeremy's incognito, right? Jeremy's in the Richie's witness protection. I mean, he enjoys the show, but you know, low key, which that's fine. I'm not even mad. I don't. I'm not even mad. You know. I mean, everyone there's different levels of Richie. I mean, the Richie in me is the Richie in you. I haven't seen Dream Life in a hot minute. Where's Dream Life? Is Dream Life okay? Is Dream Life all right? I saw him flexing with some of his cigars. Oof. Oof. That'd be fantastic. But I know he's been low key. He's been the Marvel character low key. Why am I frozen? I'm not frozen. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. You're gonna make me sad. That's it. I'm gonna end. Hey, what's up?
What's up, brother? Long time no see.
How you feel? Right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good, man.
What
How
is
you doing?
what is it cold?
It's been really nice here, but today it's cold and rainy. Yeah.
You know, I forgot what cold means. Like tonight for Florida, I'm gonna tell you right now the temperature. Give me a second. It's 75 degrees out. I was like, wow, it cooled down. It's at nighttime. Like this, and there's a cool breeze. 75 at night with like no humidity is like, wow, what's happening here? Like it's just like it's a strange place. Like Florida, there's different levels of Florida. There's like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, you know, I kind of miss the cold in some ways. I really do. I like
Yeah.
putting on a jacket. You know, you got more pockets. easier for
Hmm.
concealed carry. Here, I mean, what am I wearing? A thong and a pair of shorts?
Yeah, yeah, that'd be too human for me, man. I got that pale skin and ginger hair, so I can't handle that.
Yeah, you wouldn't like South
No.
Florida. That's why I had to cut all my hair off, bro. Like I
Yeah,
literally, like I was like, yeah. First thing I went was the beard. I was like, dude, no. It was like waking up in South Florida with the beard, and I was just like, oh god, it's just like, yeah. So get it off my face. First I trimmed it, and then I was like, nah, fine. I cut it all off, and now I'm gonna keep it around maybe goatee level. This is
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Then I got one haircut. I was like, just take some off. And about 2 weeks later, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, it's just, um, it's too hot, you know.
hmm,
I guess you adapt to where you're at. I mean, um,
yeah,
I think there's a lot of great things about Florida. I don't think it would be like if you took away the great things about it.
yeah.
But at least New Hampshire, you still get summers and falls. But I miss trees. I mean, like real trees. You know what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
Like fucking down here, everything's palm trees,
Hmm.
iguanas and lizards everywhere. It's like Jurassic Park, but you're not gonna die from. And you know what I'm saying? They got or DEA, and they got to flush the drugs down the toilet bowl. Every time you come by a tree, the iguana's like, "Oh shit, it's the cops!"
Yeah,
they just take off
yeah,
like you have a warrant. No, chill. Like I'll
yeah. They're
pet
all
you.
yeah, they're all over down there for sure. What
Yeah,
what size angel share do you have tonight?
I actually made that shit up,
Oh,
bro. I'm just making content, bro. I think this is a Toro, right? Seems like a six.
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I crushed the cellophane, and believe it or not, there was nothing on the
Uh,
cellophane.
Yeah, they don't put the little barcode things on the back of the Opus yet. Anyway, who knows? Maybe they will one day.
The Opus line is really like the gold standard as far as the foot smell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Though, I mean, there's so many. I mean, there are other ones with great foot smell, but like, you can always come back to you say smell on a cigar. Take any Opus and just smell it. You know,
Hmm.
and then from there you could.
Oh yeah, I like the angel share for sure.
That compared to regular Opus.
I mean, I guess it depends on the mood, right? I don't think they're as bold as a regular Opus. They're like a lower priming. They're a little more laid back. Um, so if you're in that mood, maybe you don't want to smoke a Connecticut, but maybe you want something, a little heavier.
But I would say that because of the lower priming and maybe more age, exactly, I don't know. Um, I find myself holding the smoke on these more to get.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did you see what I lit up? I lit up something special for the live. You see? Look how long this son of a bitch is. Watch this.
What the?
That's an Opus Perfection A. It's 9.2 by 47.
I like the gauge. I don't give a shit if a cigar is 12 inches. You give me a 46 or 47 gauge. That's nice.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
No.
nice.
Wow.
Oh, it's amazing. It's got 10 years of age on it. It's amazing. Yeah. You know, yeah, still plenty of flavor. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think yeah, I can tell that it's smooth. It's very smooth. I can tell the flavors have smoothed out, but they've mellowed and married together nicely, in my opinion. So far, I don't think it's lost a lot of balls. I mean, I'm only what, maybe an inch in, a little over an inch in, so it's going to pick up too. So yeah, I look forward to it. I smoked one that was 20 years old, the same size, and in my opinion, that was too much. I think it was a little too much over the hill. You know what I mean?
Say again. Everyone's saying it's frozen, so I just reset the internet. Dude, I'm getting full
Oh,
services. I don't know. I hear you fine. I don't know what it has to be a YouTube thing because me and you are hearing
yeah,
each other fine. Dude, I'm telling
yeah.
you, man.
I see that on the live a lot. Like you can hear whoever you're talking to, but like you freeze up quite a bit.
They're fucking with my channel. I've never listen. I pay my cell phone bill, bro. They're fucking with my channel. I can't
Maybe.
stress it enough.
Are you sure you got good service? You got how many bars you have?
Yeah, bro. I got 3 out of 4 bars right now.
Oh, okay.
5G. Hey, come on,
Okay.
they're screwing with me, bro. Like, dude, no. I mean, the amount of Autobots I got and the shenanigans. You know, I don't know if you were there for that night for the that person tell me what happened that day, and then the helicopters. I think you missed that night.
I think I watched some of it. Yeah. Well, you realize why you're getting all. You realize why you're getting all the people. YouTube changed the way the lives are. Like, so when I tune into your live, I can just use my thumb and I can scroll to different lives. So I think people are just Yeah. So I think people are just running across your live where before maybe they wouldn't. You're getting put into people's feeds, and I think you're getting a lot of people. Is what's going on. Hmm.
It's again. I'm like, dude, at what point you got to watch 4 commercials? They're just crushing it with advertisement. They're not giving it to me. I don't know who the fuck they're giving it to.
Are you? Are both of us freezing for you guys, or is it just Richie? Is it just me? 'Cause I typically don't see like Sacco frozen or whoever Richie's talking to.
Yeah, dude, I'm hearing you fine, man. So it is what it is. I don't know what to tell you.
Uncle Larry said this shit wouldn't happen on AP's channel. Yeah, he said just you're freezing up. AP says I'm not freezing up.
What can I say, man? What can I say? They don't want Richie's message going out. They don't like Richie. That's a bad charge.
Hmm.
But the quality and the flavor, it's a quick reminder why this is so magical and in a godlike cigar. Like not strong, but the finish is quite long.
Yeah,
And I haven't smoked all day. I haven't had a cigar in 24 hours, so I want to make sure I had a clean palate.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think I've heard Carlito talk about it. I think he specifically said it's a lower priming. I don't know if it's VSO or whatever he used, but he says there's more flavor in those leaves, is what he says.
Angel Share with a very skinny gauge. So you know what I'm saying, to compensate for that
You can
lower
get
priming.
you can yeah, you
I
can get
think
it like a Corona Gorda and Angel Share.
What size is that?
Oh, I'd have to look. It's called the Fuente Fuente. Maybe like 46 by, I don't know, 5 by 46, something like that. I don't know. I'd have to look. I don't remember off the top of my head. Maybe a little longer.
I'll tell
Yeah,
you
those
what,
are magical.
I'm at a solid medium right now. A long, heavy finish. When you have a long, heavy finish, but it's a solid medium, like it's a long, heavy finish goes a long way. Like a long, heavy finish could give
Hmm.
you a. Like I would take a medium strength with long, heavy finish over a medium full with like a short and no heavy finish. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously we're talking about a beautiful kind of cigar, but I love a long, heavy finish on a great blend. You know, um,
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
it, because you're more not smoking it than smoking it. So that long finish between the puffs,
Hmm.
it's like you're dating a hot chick and you don't get to see her for another 2 days, but those next 2 days you're just thinking about what's going to happen in 2 days, baby. There's no dread. You're thinking about the anticipation. You're like, wow, yeah, great. But
Uh,
yeah,
oh,
I think
AP got the size. He said it's 46 by 5. It's 5 and 5/8 by 46. The Angel Share that I'm talking about.
so. Basically, 5.5 and 46. That's a nice size.
Yeah, yeah. It's called the Fuente Fuente. Um, yeah, I think they only make like 4 sizes in the Angel Share, like Churchill, Toro, the Fuente Fuente, and then Robusto. I want to say.
In the Robusto,
Hmm.
because I don't think I ever had. They were not long.
Yeah,
5.5 is still.
yeah. I remember you had the Robusto tin. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was. I'll tell you what, this cigar is a banger. Such a pungent, like magical type of sweetness, and that I think that there's no cigar that's gonna taste. The bands are on point. If you can get these for no gouge, what are we talking about? $25, $30?
Uh, yeah, probably. I would say so. I mean, honestly, that's probably. I mean, if you really talk about true MSRP, I just I don't think many people see true MSRP anymore. Some people do, but you know, but yeah, I mean, market price, yeah, 25-30 bucks is probably what you're going to see those for. I bet.
I'm surprised on this one. It's getting past solid medium to try to be almost a medium plus, and I'll take that. And maybe on this one, within the same, but it tastes exactly how I remember it. But maybe because I have a clear palate, or maybe it's the altitude, not lack of altitude. I don't know, whatever the fuck. But it's tasting a little stronger than I could remember, and I don't know. Did you ever
Hmm.
have that happen to a cigar that, or maybe you got a strong one? Maybe there's just a little more hero in that one, or I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, I
There's slight.
think so. Yeah, I think maybe you get little variations between the crops, like between each harvest. Sure, sure.
Go by weight on that, right? So I wonder if anyone's ever weighed. We could do it with the bands because bands are all going to be the same weight. Um, if you had a box of, let's say, any cigar, Opus X, and took it outside the cellophane, and they all kept the same humidity level, if you weigh each cigar individually to, any variable, you know,
Hmm.
I mean, and
Yeah,
then
absolutely.
with the variable, would the heavier one be stronger? You know,
Yeah, absolutely. I just had a question in my head. Maybe what do you think they use like a cigar this size, not a little over 9 inches? Like I know a double Corona they use one whole leaf. Do you think they use the whole leaf for that big ass cigar? Or do you think they use two wrapper leaves?
I
I don't know.
can't
Maybe
speak
somebody
on
maybe
that.
somebody here can answer. But I
If I
guess
had,
my thought would be though, if they use two wrapper leaves, that might get a little hairy because then you got to find like two wrappers that are like the exact same color. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna have color variation.
and then you're going
It's
from
like,
foot,
yeah,
to stem side, and then back to tip side. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. So I
Uh,
guess it would have to be one leaf. They probably just get a wrapper from lower price.
well, yeah, that possibly, or honestly, like, mm, I mean, with the skinnier gauge, it's not like, remember with that skinnier gauge, that takes up less real estate. So let's just say as you wrap it around the was it 47? You said 47 gauge.
Mhm.
So maybe 9 by 47. Maybe it's similar to like a 6.5 by 50, 52. You know what I'm saying? Because that skinnier gauge
Maybe
is
that's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe they get more, you get a little more length out of it. Hmm. Yeah. Right, right, right. Some of the ones down toward the middle and whatnot. Oh yeah. Right. Well, that's where your curly heads and shit are coming from, probably. Right.
I'm
Yeah.
sure
I mean,
it's coming from.
I've smoked plenty of curly heads before. Honestly, I actually smoked a box of them when I first got back into cigars, and they're very inconsistent because of what they are. But that being said, they're good. But you run into like some are just kind of like, oh, okay, but then you hit that magical spot, and some you're like, ooh. But then it just turns, then it changes because it's just you're not using long filler. Yeah, yeah,
Pneumonia. So it's like a bad relationship. Everything's pretty cool, and like, hey, what are we eating tonight? Also, she hits you in the face with the iron. You're like, what the fuck?
yeah.
So like, it's the they're reliable in the sense that they're cheap, but you
Mhm.
never know. Maybe that's the mystery about it. You get it for $2. It wasn't bad, the Maduro. And I think if I was drinking, I wouldn't mind it. Like if I was
Yeah.
outside too with more stimulation, that I wasn't. When you have more stimulation going on, like you can enhance the cigar, or if the cigar is not good, you can
Hmm.
like, okay, I'm gonna look around,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Absolutely.
I
Yeah,
think
you could cut the grass, like mow the lawn, smoking that cigar or something. Sacco's asking, you asking box or what? My cigar, Richie? I mean, I'm sure they're both box worthy, right? Um,
yeah, dude. Not only is it box worthy, Opus X are lifetime worthy, which is a next level of box worthy, meaning they are available. And like, not only do I recommend buying a box of Opus X, whatever one you like, but meaning a year from now, or 5 or 10 years from now, or when I'm dead, I can recommend the Opus X line, any one of them. Obviously, from within reason, the ones I smoked, Opus X, Shiro, Angel Share, the
yeah.
I don't can't remember the Destinos. The point is, like, so the open box worthy means go ahead and buy a box, but lifetime worthy means a year ago and a year from now and 2 years from now. Like, it speaks for itself, and that's a category when it comes to cigars that is earned through time and judgment, because time is the judgment. If they weren't selling,
Hmm.
then they've been judged. And if they're still
Yeah.
selling, then they've been judged well. You know,
Hmm. Yeah.
um, and
Sacco, you
I
can
say,
get boxes of these Perfection A's, by the way, just to let you know.
do you think more
They're
people hate
expensive.
Opus X or love it? Because there's a lot of people that hate Opus X, that literally are
Mm,
like, oh, it's full of shit. It costs too much, dude. Yeah, so you got to take yourself outside your shoe. You're an Opus X lover. I'd say I'm an Opus
yeah.
X lover. I'm not a collector, but there are a lot of guys that are like, I won't smoke that. That's too weak, or it's overpriced. And and not to say I agree with that at all, but there are people that like, I'm not fucking with that. I know guys out
Yeah.
here, guys that have money, and they're like, no, I'm not going to pass like $15. Like, I'm not wasting my money. So
Yeah.
they're smoking like
Yeah.
Don
Yeah.
Pepino all day.
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, mm, I don't know. Maybe it's somewhere like 50-50. Maybe it's more. I don't know. Plenty of people love them. I know that. So, like you said, I don't. It's hard to say. To say they're bullshit. I think too many people love them to say that, or to say that they're overhyped. Sure, there's hype behind them, and yeah, sure, people pay more than
Yeah.
MSRP, obviously, but I don't think it's 100% overhyped.
No.
I'm sure I'm sure AP is loving the show, by the
Dude,
way, because AP already hates this place, and now we're just making it an Opus Lounge. So I'm sure he's having a great time.
he hates Opus, right? Or like he busts his balls a lot on Opus.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't hate Opus. I think he thinks they're slightly overhyped. Correct if I'm wrong, though.
Well, they're definitely a hype. Well, when I say overhyped, meaning I wouldn't pay over MSRP, and even then, like the MSRP down here will be like for these kind of cigars, $20 to $25, which is
Right, but
pretty reasonable. I think one time I
honest,
see
yeah,
a smaller one for like $19, which is
yeah. But see, like honestly, like even like I said, I don't even know that anybody knows what true MSRP is because, like, obviously you're getting really great prices down there. Like I know what
not only
prices
great
are in and
prices, bro,
around
the
shops, but
availability. These boxes don't sell
yeah,
out. I go to
yeah,
shops at Opus X, and like nobody. When I say nobody cares, I'll go up to the box and look around. Like, oh my god, you got Opus, and like it's like remember the guy in Jurassic Park? They're like, oh my god, oh my god. Remember that big fat guy? He goes, see, nobody cares. Like nobody
yeah, yeah.
cares because
Well, it's like you said, they're going through so many cigars. Yeah, they're going through so many fucking cigars. It's like, they're readily available, so people don't care. It's just like, it's just like when we talk about Cubans. Why does everybody want them, and why does everybody think they're mysterious? Because you can't fucking get, well, in theory you can't get them, right? I say in theory, but you know what I mean.
well, it's a
So I'll say
hassle.
the average person doesn't know how to get them. I guess
Yeah,
maybe the best way to say
yeah,
it.
it's a hassle.
Yeah,
And then because of that,
yeah,
comes the forbidden fruit. Um,
exactly.
Dude, yeah, the average guy, like I very rarely see people smoking Opus X in the lounge, especially the guys that are hanging out, because it's always there. So they do
Mhm.
sell, but dude, the fucking rare pink, the fat boy size, what was it, about 4.5 by 60, which I enjoyed. That box
Queen of
sat
Hearts.
for like a month,
Yeah.
and the last one was like for like the last cigar was like a week or two or something like that. It was just like so like. And now they have regular Opus X there right now, pretty cheap. Like I think Robusto. Um, Nobody cares. They have a limit of 2, but nobody cares.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're not selling. What I'm saying is that in New York, if a store has Opus X, or in Colorado, if a store had one box Opus X, guess what cigars are getting sold that night?
Oh yeah, they're gone
Opus
within a
X.
day or two. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
that's
for
it.
sure.
That's it, and it's limit of 1, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No,
Mhm.
if it's and so you come down here and it's like
Yeah.
whatever. you know. And so in a way, it's interesting seeing those cigars. I almost calm down. You know what I'm saying? When I go there, I'm like, ah, like I still love them, but I'm just saying, like, it
Hmm.
takes that sense of urgency. Like, oh, we got to get some milk and bread. The snowstorm's coming. There's no snow down here, baby. So nobody, you know.
AP says he's a Padrón whore at heart. Yeah, I can understand that. That's respectable. Padrón are fucking awesome. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like AP said, like he would smoke them if he could find them consistently for MSRP. But I
Yeah,
think,
but
like you
even
said, it depends where you're at. It's hard.
yeah, down here everyone's got them, and like nobody cares. But even at let's say $22, $23 for like a Robusto, fantastic cigar. But you could literally smoke for 16.99 a Padrón 64 Maduro Diplomatico, the big 7
Yeah.
by like the
Yeah.
Churchill size. So now what would you rather have? A Padrón 7-inch Churchill, right? Was that 7 by 50 Churchill or something like that, or 7 by 48 box press?
Something. Yeah.
Or would you have the Robusto for $8 more, $6 more on the Opus X? It begs the question. Like, depends
Yeah.
what kind of guy you are. If it's just about the money, you're gonna go Padrón because
I think it might depend on mood too, though. If it's not about the
no, no,
money,
of course,
maybe it's your mood, right?
yeah. But I'm just saying, like overall, like the Padrón 64s down here are pretty cheap. I'm really surprised, dude. I could get Padrón 26 Maduro. What's the smallest size? 4-inch, the
Like the
35.
Principe or
No, that's the
whatever.
26.
Oh,
Principe is 64. Principe is
oh,
longer. The 26
Mhm. Okay. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. Hmm. Wow.
You got inches of Padrón,
Yeah.
so
Hell yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
grabbed a 3000 the other day. Well, I think we were talking about that in chat. I love those thousand shares. I know we've talked about it,
mm,
but I don't know. I think for bang for your buck. I mean, if you're not wanting to buy a 64 or 26,
yeah.
yeah, order those 1000 series online all day.
Yeah. Well, yeah, AP. I didn't count the Hermoso because I don't really care for that size, and
Mm,
it's expensive. Believe it or not, that Hermoso size, yeah, it is short, but I don't even give a shit about that size because it's shorter and fatter, and they literally want like $22 for that here. So here I could buy Diplomatico for $17, $18. What would you rather have? 7x48 Padron 64 Maduro, or like a 4 by whatever stupid fucking size that uh you know what I'm saying? Did you ever see the one he's talking about, Hermoso?
I thought I
I,
have. What gauge? Is it a thick
I don't know if
gauge?
it's 4x54. It's like a short kind of chunky
Mm,
cigar. And who gives a shit? Because it's not priced appropriately. You know what I'm saying though? So it's
hmm.
like uh it costs more than a Diplomatico. So what would you rather have? Well, I'm just guessing. What is it? A 4x52 or 54, or a 7x48 Padron? I'd rather have the longer
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
cheaper,
Yeah.
like a lot
Yeah.
cheaper. But to me, it's like on every part. Every time I see that size and the price
Yeah.
as a deal,
AP says
I'm
four
like,
by 56. Yeah. Yeah.
that's just
56 is too. I don't like having it. Yeah. That's too. Yeah. Now, granted, there are
you're
exceptions,
making
but
it weak.
I'm generally not a fan of that gauge that large.
Well, especially on Padron. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? No, and it's not like on a Padron, and especially why would I pay $5 more when I could have a Diplomatico Maduro 64? It doesn't make any sense.
Hmm.
Like honestly, I I still love the Principe, and that was my favorite 64 Maduro. But I think the Diplomatico, because of the price points, I've been getting to smoke them a lot.
Hmm.
That might be my favorite Padron 64, the Diplomatico Maduro.
Big
What is
one.
that, 7x40?
In that DL's favorite one, he likes the Diplomatico. I think it's his favorite size.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where DL has been. I hope he's all right.
I hope he's doing all right.
Yeah, but dude, for $17, how could you fucking beat that, bro? You know?
Right. Right.
Uh,
Yeah. That's crazy for Padron for something that large.
Yeah, and if you buy like 6 of them, you get another 10% off. So
Holy
it's like,
shit.
yeah,
Yeah, I like the
yeah,
Exclusivo too, AP. That's one of my favorite. The little, I mean, it's basically a box press Robusto. I mean, for a
yeah,
short smoke, I love the 64 Exclusivo.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, Sacco. Yeah, Cubans had the best construction. I'd say right now we're almost at medium plus, which overall I feel is maybe a little stronger than I thought it was going to be at. It's not. It is still have an airy type of feel to it, but it's not like when you smoke a really aged cigar where it's just you're just smoking the air and you're like hoping to get more flavor out of it. Like, no, I'm getting enough flavor out of this. It definitely doesn't have. I think the Opus X is that. Well, I know the Opus X is definitely stronger, but I think this is sweeter though. And when I say Opus X is stronger, I'm
Yeah,
not saying it's strong. I would just say more.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. I agree. Yep. Those are
Syrupy.
harder to find.
Well, would you consider it? I'm not talking about preference, but would you consider it a higher tier than regular Opus X? Like, is somehow Opus X bottom tier in Opus X? Like, how does that happen? How does the one that created? How does the grandfather of Opus X, fly from L.A. to New York to buy a fucking box Opus X in like 1995, right? How the fuck is now Opus X? the base one that nobody gives a shit about.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. It's kind of fun. I mean, they're just so like
I'm dead serious.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. It's crazy. Like, like when you think about how much room they have at Chateau or wherever, where they grow it. Like, I don't know. I mean, they got to like rotate. I mean, obviously they use different primings and whatnot for different cigars, but you think at some point they've got to run out of fucking tobacco, right? Like, but there's so many fucking Opus
Yeah.
variations.
No, I'm talking about from the consumer side, like a guy like you or guys that love Opus. Really, nobody cares about regular Opus. I'm not saying you don't smoke it, but like if you
I
had
don't
regular,
know if I'd say
let's say you had
that.
five. Okay, let's say they had 5 Opus and 5 other Opuses, though. Name me 5 other Opuses: Oscuro,
Angel
Destino,
Share,
Angel Share, a Shark, and Purple Rain, right?
yeah, sure,
Right, and 20th
sure.
anniversary, and 25th. You're at a lounge. Which one's the guys gonna get? No one's gonna get excited for regular Opus X. They're gonna, they're gonna want Purple Rain first.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah. Probably,
And
probably.
but that
But
because of
well,
it.
let's talk about that for a minute, though.
Yeah,
All right. Let's talk about that. Is it because of availability that they would want, like, say, a Purple Rain over a regular Opus,
I
or
think
they see it and their
absolutely.
eyes just light up, or
I think availability, bro. Because I'm telling you, bro, the fact it's kind of like in Spain, um, all the girls were topless at the beach. It's normal. So like, it's like nobody cared. But if you were in Michigan, all of a sudden a woman's walking around topless, you're like, mother of God. You know what I'm saying? Though. So up in where you're at, or New York,
Mhm.
Colorado, it's hard to get open. So when it comes, it's like, mother of God. I'm here. Nobody cares. Like, look, see, nobody cares. So if Purple Rain was available every day, even at MSRP, guys would calm down. People would,
Yeah.
because I'm telling you, limited availability creates a lust. Like, you should call it lustful availability. When you can't get it,
Mhm.
it's like when it does come around, you're like, oof, you know. And
Yeah. Yeah.
once,
That's why people pay for them.
mhm.
I mean,
Oh,
like
yeah,
me
supply and demand.
personally, like, sure, have I paid more than MSRP? Absolutely. I have a line in my head though. Generally, like, I know what stuff generally goes for, so I kind of compare it. Like, am I paying $5 or $10 more for a cigar? Okay, maybe, but once you get to a certain point, at least for me, like, I'm not. There's too much gouge. There's a thing is too much gouge.
Um, at what point is it not worth it? And so if somebody said, "Is it worth that 30?" You go, "Oh, well, yeah, for one, yeah, that was a special night out, or celebrating. Okay, is it worth 35?
Mhm.
Is it worth 40?" And when I mean worth 40, 40 to you, because it's not a $40 cigar. And that's what's crazy too. Like, what is a
Right.
$4 cigar? So for Garcia and Garcia, or for um, my father, come out with 2 other cigars now for $60 at base MSRP, let alone the gouge, right? What the
Hmm.
fuck could my father do better at $60 versus my $20
Yeah.
Opus X Miami? Like, really
Yeah.
think
I
about it.
was it. Yeah.
Really think.
Yeah, I was interested in trying those, the La Union, I think is what you're talking about. But then I saw the price point and I was like, meh, I don't,
Okay, there's no way it's 3 times better than Opus X. It's
right,
impossible. So why would I
right.
even waste? What if they price it the same? $20 to me is a lot for a cigar. 25 really a lot, in my opinion, especially in Florida. So if my father was $25, I go, wow, that's the most expensive my father I smoked outside of Garcia and Garcia. And even if it was, you think it's going to beat Opus X? So in a way, Opus X becomes the golden standard of rarer luxury cigars. That if you're charging more than Opus X, in my opinion, the chances are it's probably going to be a bust. Like,
Yeah. Mhm.
as far as there's a Tatuai for $100,
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
bro.
with Opus too, like me personally, like, and I know a lot of other people are kind of the same way. Like, if I'm gonna buy them, if I'm gonna buy them, like, I like buying the box just so I have them for a while, basically. So, you know, I think that's another reason why people pay a little more, because unless you're on secondary, you're usually not going to get a box. You know what I mean? Most shops aren't going to sell you a box. Some will, of course. Some people get lucky, or maybe they build a great relationship or whatever. But most shops are not going to sell you boxes, and that's why a lot of people go to secondary as well.
Yeah, and I get that. It's kind of like, yeah, I mean, guys have a girlfriend or a wife at home, and but they want a box, and then maybe they go to the secondary market.
Uh, daddy's getting hot at the body shop with Opus
Yeah,
X.
exactly. I want a cash settlement and I want my money now. Call 877. Do you have money in a settlement, but you want to cash out now? Call 1-800-RICHIE. You know what I'm saying, though? Yeah, it's like you got Opus X, but you want to buy more than one at a time.
You're right. AP says it's limited. That's why I think I assume he's talking about the La Union. I get it. I surely get it. And I've paid quite a bit of money for limited cigars, obviously. So I can't say anything. I guess it depends. It comes down to if you want to try that cigar bad enough, right? Like for me, Tatuai, my father, I like the brands, but to me, it just wasn't for me paying $60 for either of those when I can go get a bijou for $12 or you know what are some of the good Tatuai like the Monster series? I mean, even though they're limited, I mean, you can get those for $15.
I'm
So
just going to give you an idea of I just have. I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but imagine a guy in a movie. Imagine a guy in a movie because you if you sign up for Frontier, you could fly from like fucking South Florida to like Long Island. You can get cheap flights under $100, maybe even $75, $50 sometimes. Each way or round trip, $100 cheap, right? So let's just say you
mhm.
come down to South Florida, and every time you come down here, it's very easy to get like boxes of fucking Opus X, right? You buy them all out, and Nejos too. And Nejos for nothing. They got a Nejos down here for $12, $13. It's stupid, right? So $14 for the big Anejo, the 48.
Mhm.
So that let's say
Yeah,
that guy
that's pretty good.
just for a day goes to all the spots, buys 20 boxes, $40. You could fit that in your luggage, and it's not Cuban, so and you're flying from state to state. There's nothing illegal about that. You go back to New
Yeah.
York, maybe you have a private club, and over there you charge 2.5 to 3. Tell me, guys at car games or guys at a bar wouldn't buy Opus X for $40 on the spot. They
Oh,
would.
sure.
They
Yeah,
would. And what did you
they
pay for
would.
it?
Yeah.
Easy.
Well, what
You,
do-
you,
what do you think guys on secondary are doing? They're getting them for cheap and reselling them.
but the problem with that
Well,
is
and a lot, but some of them are shops. Like some of them are just shops that maybe they want to make a quick sale or something.
but that's
A lot of
when you go
guys are shop owners.
or watch. I'm telling you, if it's different if it's your own personal collection, then you're like, I'm gonna trade it. But if you're just like if you did what I'm talking about, I'm not saying to do that, and you're buying, coming down to buy 100 boxes and you're going back and flipping them every week because you can make money that way.
Oh, sure. You also have the IRS calling you too. I'm sure.
Yeah, but then remember, also you're crossing state lines and you're not paying New York tax, and you're selling cigars in New York without a tobacco license and not paying tax in New York.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
like every you could pick and choose what agencies like we want our money, and not only that, you can't do that
Yeah.
to even give us our money. You know what I'm saying? No, like so like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what I try to tell guys. Like I
But
used to
see,
go,
there must be some weird rules or laws. Maybe if you're a licensed tobacco retailer, because like I've bought shit from Tampa Sweethearts. They're down in Fuente Junior owns that, and there's no tax on any of his stuff. You don't pay tax, and usually free shipping. I believe you order enough from.
I don't know. I'm
I don't know.
telling you what's going to happen in
I
the
mean,
future.
obviously he's a licensed retailer. I don't know if it's a Florida thing or what it is, but
Probably
there's no
Florida.
tax on it
But
on the.
some places they want that person to collect tax for the state you're in and send the money to the state you belong to. Like your state gets mad that like so
Mm-hmm.
um I'm telling you the future.
AP AP said people are flipping hundreds of boxes of Cubans. Nobody cares. Yeah, you're probably
right. What I'm saying is, though, doing it electronically, though, it wouldn't be that hard for them to audit you electronically and go, you've been selling tobacco without a license. Like, I think because nobody cares about cigars. If it was cigarettes, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
bro, drive down to Virginia and buy like 100 cartons and go back to New York and try to flip them on the streets. Bro, you'd have the fucking ATF up your ass.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. I assume that's a federal crime. Yeah.
yeah. So I just
Yeah.
think cigars, like people are like, it's just cigars. Like nobody, you know what I'm saying though? Because cigarettes are much more mass consumption. Like cigarettes are literally money. You know what I'm saying though? There's no like if you
Yeah, they're
found
making a lot more tax and money off cigarettes, 100%.
bro, and the volume. Like, dude, like here's the thing about cigarette smokers. They smoke every day, all day. It's like cigarette smokers are. It's like they're possessed. Like they can't stop. Like look at the today. It's like, well, I waited 24 hours to make sure my palate was clean. Like if you smoke 2 packs a day, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna give it 24 hours just to clean my palate. Hey,
Yeah.
like your 7-Eleven's like, what did he
Yeah.
die? He didn't buy his packs today. Like he didn't, you know. And can you even order cigarettes in the mail? I don't think you can. There's no ordering online. There's no, but whatever state you're in.
I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly. Like and like I
That's a
said,
good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
like Virginia, and that's the big thing going from up and down 95, like literally going to Virginia or North Carolina, bro. It's not even a day's ride. They're cheap, way cheaper than New
Right.
York City. I mean, I don't know if you could double or triple your money over there. But that's where if you get caught, RIP, and because they always check those bodegas for tax too, and you got bodegas putting like fake tax stamps. So there's like we talk about Cubans, we could talk about fake bodega cigarettes. That's a whole subcategory. Like people get jammed up. I don't know how much time you get, but it's still interstate commerce. You can get jammed up. It's not going to be good. You're like, I'm just going to do like 2 years. You're like, for a cigarette.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's a victimless crime because but
it's funny how the world's changed. Like I mean, I'm sure you do too. I mean, we're close to the same age, but you remember being younger. Fuck, I remember going to like McDonald's and there's metal ashtrays on the table. Like everybody smoked cigarettes. There was a fucking you drive down the freeway and there's big billboards, and, magazine articles, you name it, right? Commercials. Yeah.
I saw the end. So diners smoking, then diners smoking section. It was just basically like, well, there's a smoking section on the left, and then everyone else on the right, a small area. Then it was diner smoking section. The left they had plexi.
Yeah.
And then it was no more smoking. Like it was phased out. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck, you used to be able to smoke on airplanes. Back in the day, like in the 80s, you could smoke on airplanes. Huh? Hospitals? I don't know. Could you smoke inside of them?
Smoke probably was, yeah. Smoke inside back then. I guess in the 80s, the only place you couldn't smoke was probably like church.
Maybe.
And church and what else? Well, maybe you would assume a gas station, but I don't think people gave a shit. I see people smoking at gas stations. You got to be crazy.
Yeah. Fuck, I've seen people smoking at the pump before. Like, you crazy motherfucker. Like that, you're just asking for it.
Yeah, when I was driving, cross country, I purposely, if I was smoking a cigar, driving, I timed it. I wasn't going to go to the gas station with a lit cigar. Like, where are you going to put it? Like, it's just not.
Yeah.
Because that could be you can get a lot of trouble for that, like with a lit cigar or cigarette at the pump. Like,
oh yeah.
I don't know if you know, there's a lot of fumes. There's a lot of fumes.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I've never been that balls to try that. Yeah, Uncle Larry says back in the day you could smoke right in the hospital room. Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah. They're like, sorry, your grandpa. Yeah.
The fucking doctor's coming in smoking a cigarette. Yeah.
Yeah. I told him to quit. You should have changed to Lucky's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how, like, in reality, we've changed taboos. Like the other day, I was watching an old movie from the 1950s. It was 1950. And every fucking scene, everybody is drinking, but not acting drunk though. But every scene, scotch. What would it be? Like they go, let's say you came up my house, and like I just have a wet bar set up. But like they don't even ask if you drink. It's just like, what do you want? Like scotch,
Mhm.
rye, bourbon, vodka. Like you know what I'm saying. So you come over right off the bat. You have anybody come over, they're having a drink. They're at work, they're having a drink, and on top of that, they're all.
Mhm.
So the whole movie smoking, whole movie they're drinking, but guess what? No nudity. And when they did kiss, all of a sudden it would fade to black, and then you knew what happened, but only in your mind. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Though,
yeah, yeah.
and then even the bedroom had separate beds, which honestly, I think it's actually a great idea. I think husband and wife should have separate beds. You're gonna sleep. So if you gotta wake up in the middle of the night to shit, or if you gotta fart, it's a lot better. Like, why do you have to sleep in the same bed? I think separate beds, separate bedrooms are even better. Like you see, honestly, I think it creates just like with the hype of Opus. If you and your wife sleep in separate beds or separate rooms in the morning, you're like, oh hey, nice to see you, because it's a little more limited, and now you appreciate it more.
Mm. Yeah, that might be interesting to try, I guess. I don't know.
Tonight, you're like, honey, we're gonna do an Opus experiment. I'm gonna make you a little more limited. What?
Go
So,
sleep on the
oh,
couch, bitch.
exactly. All of a sudden, you call me tomorrow, Richie, I'm divorced.
uh,
But yeah, that's the
yeah,
way it was in the. It's they had separate rooms. The men would have his library, and I think what happens is like in this modern age, all that happens is you go to work, you come home, and then you watch TV together. That's it. It's like,
yeah,
here you go. It's go to work, and then you watch TV together, and you argue over shows. I can't stand, to me, how meaningless watching. I can't. It's one thing if it's something you really want to watch,
yeah.
but like every day to
I like some TV. I don't watch a whole lot of TV. My wife probably watches more than I do.
No, but I'm saying, but having to watch the same shows together, because man and woman, you're gonna like different shit, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
if you
I don't like
agree
any
on
shows
it,
my wife watches.
but if you agree on it, the man's just shutting up just to make her happy. Like you don't want to
Mhm.
watch like soap operas or you know a show about people getting married. Like who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, I mean, we watch some stuff. We'll watch some Netflix series and shit like that. But
yeah,
yeah, the normal shows she watches on TV. Yeah, I don't.
like yeah,
It's all cooking and decorating shit. Yeah, that's fine. That interests her. But
do
like,
you
yeah,
want to
it
see
doesn't.
like mommy make over a woman's like or like my 700-pound wife, and you're like, oof,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I think I'm gonna actually drop the ash, only because look, that's the first
Yeah,
time I
you
ever.
got curved.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's
Maybe
gonna hold.
one side burning faster than the other side, maybe a little bit.
That
Mm,
then I waited about 30 seconds. I used another match.
yeah,
Um, so I don't think the cigar is wet, but yeah, wow, look at that. Look at that. That's actually pulling because it's pulling because of the ash pulling this way. It's kind of the
mm,
sides cracking on the opposite side because it's pulling
mm.
that way.
Well, you're not a connoisseur, Richie. I don't know if you know that. You're not a connoisseur. You know.
You're absolutely right. I am not. He said me and three connoisseurs. Like that's I got
I
to.
had. Uh,
Well, I'm taking my time, Uncle Larry. Really, I didn't start my cigar to probably 20 minutes in, and I'm really taking my time. I'm not rushing this at all. I see right now it's around medium plus, between medium, like a solid medium to like medium plus, somewhere between there. I'd say I'm about 65% darkness, but between 65% dark. So it's like it feels darker than like a Connecticut, but not definitely not like a full sun grown kind of vibe. The finish is very long and heavy, which is really nice because even though it's not a very strong cigar at all, the finish is and the type of flavor. It's so pungently sweet. It's actually quite nutty. I'm even getting a really creamy like vanilla on this one. The black pepper spice is there, but it's very minimal. And I think I know the regular Opus X has a more pungent vibe. Not that when I smoke Opus X, I go, that's a strong cigar. But compared to the Angel Share, I think this is a more sweet, beautiful compared to Opus, you know? And is that the one you're smoking? Is that a regular Opus X? What kind of blend is it?
Yeah, yeah, it's regular. It's regular. I was laughing AP some of the beer for a while. Yeah, it's a big ass cigar. It's funny. I was gonna smoke. I had a double Corona pulled out, and I was gonna bring it outside, and then I happened to look at the head, and I realized it had a crack on it. So I had some cigar glue. I put it on there, but it wasn't dry yet. So I said, "Ah, fuck it. I've had this Opus A sitting here for several months, and I said, now's the time."
You know, my favorite part about Opus is, besides the foot smell, holding the smoke. Hold the smoke for a second and just close your eyes and just, it really is about the magic, right? Because especially go, yeah, a lot of other cigars don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Though it's what it does to the mind. You're really like, wow,
Mhm.
wow. It's a very what I would call a harmonious blend. It's one thing having flavor, but the whole profile is very harmonious.
Yeah,
You know, um, and especially I think because I haven't had an Opus X or I mean, or Angel Share in a while. It really, I think it makes it even more special. I think if you smoked Opus X like every week, you kind of would lose its. I'm not saying it still would be great, but you get what I'm saying. Though I think you lose some
yeah,
of its
yeah.
mystery.
I agree. I kind of did that. Like the last I think it was around the holidays when I was on vacation. Like I just I went crazy and was smoking like nothing but my good shit, like all Opus. And to be honest, after that week, I was like, I'm ready for something different. Not that they weren't magical, but you know, I like to switch it up. I smoke all kinds of different shit. So
Yeah, and also I feel like lots of times too. I feel like the mid tiers is it keeps you alive. Meaning, it's like your ear to the street. Meaning, like I think it's kind of like you could have be in a limo, but at the same time, it's nothing like walking through the streets of like New York City. So like mid tier stuff is like you obviously them being more raw compared to higher luxury cigars. But and and how do you know what's luxury unless you're smoking mid tier cigars? If you're only smoking luxury cigars, it's not a luxury anymore. That's your mid tier. That's normal. Mid tier is normal. Most people have normal lives. Like if they don't go to work within a month, they don't get to eat. They don't get to go. Like so. That's normal. There's pressure. So when you smoke mid tier, it's like it celebrates normal life. And I think there's something to be said about that. So when you do have an Opus X, right, or a high end Padrón, you're like, wow, yeah, that's really nice. You know what I'm saying, though? But if
yeah,
every day is steak, then it's not steak anymore. It's just like you
yeah,
take it. That's my
yeah,
opinion. That as a a guy that just owns his Corolla. What can I say?
yeah, yeah. 455 says most overhyped cigar I've smoked is the Illusion Bowl. I'd have to agree. A lot of guys love that cigar, but to me, it was just too big. The format was too big. I don't think the flavor shined through because the cigar was too big. Like the
It,
last third for me
it
was the
really,
best. The best of the cigar was the last third.
yeah, the end, second, third, and the last third really gets magical. I hold the smoke on every puff, and on that one you really have to. It
Yeah,
does feel loaded. I'd rather have a cigar cheaper in a Toro, but I
yeah,
think what it was for the time, and even now, if you look at LFD's portfolio, strong fucking scary cigars.
yeah,
Then they came along with the Bull. And I think for LFD guys, they're like, wow, like, oh, we have an Opus now. We have a beautiful cigar. And it is a beautiful cigar, but it's a
yeah, yeah.
tremendous sound. But I think what it was is it gave LFD a luxury cigar they didn't have, or a category. It gave them a category, kind of like what happened with the Dragon for Gurkha. Up until now,
Hmm.
yeah, Gurkha had a lot of mid tier stuff, but that nobody cares. But a lot of people don't care. But when now Gurkha make the Dragon was like, oh wow, that now they're making some real legitimate luxury cigars.
Yeah,
So picture when the before the Bull came out, what was LFD? Double Hero, which
yeah,
and I'm not knocking them. I'm saying like, dude, I smoked a lot of
yeah,
Double Heroes. They're strong fucking back then, $8 cigars.
yeah.
And the Bull comes out, oh no cellophane, fucking just this green felt box, like
Hmm.
each individual in there. it was impressive for its time, and I still enjoy the Bull, but I get it. Like I probably rather smoke an Alma Fuerte Plasencia over the Bull for the same price, and the Bull is still so hard to get. Like it's still, dude, it's harder for me to smoke the Bull down here in Florida than Opus X.
Wow, that's
I don't know who.
interesting.
Ask you right now, can I get you Opus X? And I could get you a Skuro. I could get you Sharks right now.
Yeah,
Ask me if I can get you the Bull. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
yeah, yeah. That's crazy.
And that's all you
Yeah, I
got to
know.
know.
There's very high demand for that cigar. 455. I agree. The Solus, I think, is LFD's best cigar, hands down. I think Richie would agree. The 25th is right there. I think. Although I've had some construction issues with the last couple 25ths I've smoked, but I think
I haven't
the
had that.
Solus, and then the 25th for me is their best shit. The LFD, the Cameroon cabinet's good.
Well, would you factor in the availability? The Solus is available down here and available everywhere. Solus is $13. At
Yeah.
$13 down here for Solus, you can't ask for more. Like for $13, it's a great cigar. MSRP is stupid. In Colorado, I paid $22, $13 down here. Like that's dumb pricing. Like they priced that right down here. Solus is great,
Yeah.
and it gives you a lot, and it's got enough power. It hits everything. It's got plenty of everything, plenty of sweetness, spice, and the whole profile.
Yeah, I've still got I got like maybe 7 or 8 of those in my humidor. I bought a box like I don't know, maybe 6, 7 months ago, maybe a little longer.
The Bull came in Toro, like a 6x50. I haven't smoked in that size.
Well,
I think that would
it
be a different
does, but
ball game.
it's expensive as fuck. Remember they made that one. I don't know if it's a Toro, but it's fucking stupid price, like like a couple $100 for I don't.
It's $200.
Yeah, yeah, I don't want to pay that much to try a different Vitola in that size or that blend.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, you'd rather have regular Opus and that for sure, but dude, it's not worth the chance in my price. Yeah, well, I mean, down here the prices are stupid. Yeah, but yeah, if you're in like say New York and they have $35 for the Bull, like yeah, I get that. What I'm saying is the Bull's a great blend in a stupid size.
Yeah,
And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It doesn't. I think the size they wanted is make it harder to make. It is a hard size to make. Look at that fucking cigar. I mean, it's crazy that size. What a strange looking cigar. The Bull is one of the weirdest looking shapes. What is the Bull? I don't even know what kind of shape that is.
I don't know. I
You know?
mean, it's kind of like a cross between a perfecto, like a fat perfecto, and like a Salomon or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
But then it tapers at the bottom too, I think, right?
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, it's like tapers a little, then it
Yeah,
gets really fat, then it just gets skinnier as you smoke it.
yeah, so I get that. So to me as a reviewer, do I like the Bull? Yes. I can't stand how hard it is to get. And I think the size, it hurts the blend. Like it would be so much better. Shit, I would smoke that thing in fucking Corona. I would
Yeah,
like Bull.
yeah.
Imagine a Bull removed $15.
Fuck
Smoke
yeah.
like oh hell yeah. For 30
Hmm.
bucks for like a gigantic fat cigar that waters it down. Nah. And I get that, I think I need to drop the ash. What do you think? It's holding on with that bend.
I'm surprised it held on with that bend like that.
It is Fuente, but
You might want to hold it the other way. It's going to fall on your forehead.
mm. Should I give it an ash test?
Yeah, I think it's going to fall.
Only
Okay, maybe not.
dude.
Yeah.
It's Josh's. Now Josh is at the doctor. He said the doctor straightened it out. He had a problem or something like that. I don't know, but which I wish him the best with that. I wouldn't wish that on nobody. I don't know what he did to it. Maybe he kept on yanking it or something like that. Like, sir, you got to stop doing this. He says, yeah, the Bull does have a nice foot spell. Let me tell you something. Here's a cigar that you never tried. there was a an LFD for $12 box press, like Toro. Have you ever tried the LFD event? There was an LFD event only cigar, and it was supposed to be event only. But at the lounge in New York years ago, they got a lot of them. I mean, like they were like 5-pack, and they got a lot of them. Whatever, how the guy hooked up, and I mean like a lot of them. So they were selling them, and they were supposed to be, because they were supposed to be given out, bro. Those $12 LFD box presses, and around the bowl kind of flavor, you know what I'm saying though, and like it wasn't a really ass kicking cigar, but it was like magical for $12. I'd rather smoke that $12 in the bowl, and
Yeah.
you can't get. It was an event only, and they had them for a few months because they kind of hit them already for people they knew, and that pisses me off because you're like, why that regular production? If that event only cigar was regular production LFD, that could have really won one of the cigars of the year. Like that cigar was that good.
Yeah.
But I guess that's it. And there's no event, so yeah. I can't believe this is holding.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I do like on my father's side? On their higher end cigars, but they're not crazy. They're like maybe $15-20. Did you ever have like the Don Pepin, but the higher end Don Pepin? Maybe the original ones that were like they're in a blue box, like they were like a car, and they were like maybe like $15-20. Was that the 10th
Yeah.
anniversary?
Well, you're talking about the limited one they just came out with?
Years ago, before the Garcia.
Years ago. Oh no, I don't think I tried that.
Dude, those were good
I mean, I've had
cigars.
the regular Dom Pepin with the blue band or whatever. But
No, this was, and I might
yeah.
up like they had stuff under Garcia, like above like the regular lines of my father, regular lines my father stops at around I'd say the Bijou, and then from there they had some stuff before um Garcia around $18-20, and they were solid.
What is? No, I haven't. I don't think so. What board talk? What do you talk? Has anyone tried the new Fonseca Mexico yet? That's my father has a new Fonseca. Is that what you're saying? I didn't hear that.
That's pretty interesting.
So the Fonseca I like that has a Corojo wrapper on it, and
Yeah.
that'd be interesting. So they did one with a Mexican San Andreas. I'm assuming is that what you're saying?
The original, the one that they bought Fonseca. With the original,
Right.
that was a good $9 cigar. I thought it gave you a lot,
Wow. Yeah. Yes, my father. Oh, wow. Okay, I'll have to look for that. Yeah, I didn't see that. I recently went through my father again and revisited their whole line, or at least almost everything I could find. I really like their cigars. The Antigüedad. Have you ever had the Antigüedad?
It gives you a lot for your money.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a cheap cigar, like fairly cheap. It reminded me of the Flor de las Centillas, but with ball, like a lot more ball is what it reminded
I got to drop that, man. And I did an
me.
ash test on that too. At this point, it's going to touch that, like touch it.
Yeah, you're gonna
How about like, hey, you want some pizza? No.
you're gonna burn your
How
eyes
about
out.
now? Like,
Yeah, that's gonna fall on your face.
fuck it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's
Yeah,
just amazing.
I can't believe that it did that. Yeah, board talk. I'm gonna have to look for that. That's exciting because I really do like the Fonseca with the Corojo. That'd be interesting with the San Andreas. But see, they already make the not the La Promesa. What's their San Andreas? The Opulencia. They make the
What the fuck?
Opulencia.
Opulencia's got Mexican San Andreas, right?
Yeah. I
Dude,
like
look at this thing.
the Opulencia. That's crazy. It looks like a Cheeto.
I really should drop it.
Like you like the puffy Cheetos.
Right now, I'm going to get rid of it because you made me laugh.
Yeah.
It still doesn't want to go. The fuck? I got to tap it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, dude, but I tapped it. Like, as soon as I did like this, it was already off. That thing was holding on like
Yeah,
a prayer.
it was ready. It was ready.
Yeah, so I think brands like my father gives you a lot. I think before AJ got like really big in dominance, my father was there like crushing the mid-tier Nicaraguan cigar market, and I think AJ came in, and then also, but AJ had his ways with taking over the biggest companies in the world. I'll tell you this in general.
Now,
So
here,
I honestly think
here's a question.
yeah.
I got a question. So, just a topic of maybe debate, if you will. You know, we're caught, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing. I'm just, so I want to get your thought process. Like, when you call something mid tier, okay, like for example, my father, Oliva, I'm guessing, are they really mid tier though? Because we're talking about cigars that have, I know some people don't put a lot of stock in the cigar aficionado, but it is what it is. But we're talking about cigars that have won awards and that are
Yeah,
number one.
I don't awards. Yeah, it's nice, but there's no way you could compare, you know, the $10, my father to an Opus X. But but with the price point, then I guess you could, if you want to.
Yeah,
But I think they're in their own right, meaning like a weight class. In this case, it's a price class. So, in my opinion, the mid tier of my father, which was that's how they became known for, literally cigars from $8 to $12, and they were
yeah,
dominating. Uh, and I would say you had the competition between LFD and my father. Pretty much LFD was the strongest in Nicaragua of Dominican, and my father was like the strongest of Nicaragua and available mid tier. The boxes were nice, the bands were nice, the cigars were reliable, and they were affordable. And then Padrón was like, well, if you want upper, classier Nicaraguan cigar that was strong and reliable. Um, um, but now my father's not a mid tier brand no more. Now they've gone up. If I'm not going to really be smoking high end my father,
yeah,
because not what I know them for,
yeah.
Um, but no, I mean they have some great cigars, and I'm not using mid tier to knock it at all. I'm just talking about the price point
Oh yeah,
to the next.
yeah, I get you. Although that
Listen,
was
bro,
my question.
if
Are you
my father
talking just price point? I guess was my question.
I am, but what I'm saying is, if my father for $10 made a cigar better than Opus X, I would never smoke Opus X again. Mid tier doesn't
Yeah,
stop me. Meaning, if a mid tier was better than Opus X, like blew it away and in every way for half the price, why the fuck would I smoke Opus X? So you understand what I'm
yeah,
saying? So like, you can have a great mid tier and give you a lot for your money, but what I'm saying is, as you go up in price, like in a way, the mid tier is there to remind the higher tier cigars, like you better be better because we're
yeah,
supposed to be worse. We're cheaper.
yeah.
Does that make any
Now,
sense? So when
what would you consider high tier? Would you consider just the big three like high end Fuente, Davidoff, Padrón?
no, because Padrones you got 1000s. Those are low mid tier.
Well, sure,
My
sure,
I
sure.
don't
But
care.
I'm talking the higher tier.
We go fluctuation. Padron one that let's talk about that. Just because people want to jack the price up, Padron 1000s to me is mid tier but low mid tier, meaning those were $5, $6, $7 cigars at best, and now people are charging $14 for them. I've seen $15 for Padron 1000 series, and I'm like, you got to be stupid. Like you got to be stupid. I'm not paying. I wouldn't pay above like $8. I still have places out here that have Padron 1000s for like 7, $8. Okay, that's a good in this market now with the inflation. That's a good price. I think $7, $8 for like a Toro Padron 1000, 2000, whatever, and it's a good dirty Padron. And I think they have their place. But just because now the market shifted, like the Master Blends 3, Master Blends 3 here at last $3 too much.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's crazy. Well, I told you when I went on vacation last year, we were like down south in like Gatlinburg area, and like I told you, they had I went into a few shops, and they're all like, you want to talk about gouge? It was crazy. $20 for a Master Blends 3, like $70 or $80 for an Opus X Lost City. They had Opus 6 boxes, like the little sampler, for $1,000. Normally those are like $350, $400. Yeah, yeah, regular Opus, like regular core Opus line. Yeah, yeah, 100%. I think Lost City is it's an Opus, but it's for me it's probably the worst is a bad word to use just because I don't know what would be a better word, but it's like the worst. It's the worst Opus.
It's the weakest, and not the weakest in the line. If that makes any
Yeah,
sense.
it's that's not to say that it's not good. It's good, and you can tell that it's an Opus, but it's different. And I don't know. It's just I don't know. Some guys like them better though too. You know, like you get a little bit of a darker profile. I mean,
No,
it's not as
I
sweet.
think they.
It's different.
No, it's a great cigar, period. But I'd rather have a regular Opus X,
Yeah,
especially the price. They're charging in some places. I've seen Lost City for $40, and I'm like, get the
yeah.
fuck out of
Hmm.
here.
That's MSRP pretty much for the Toro now. They're $40 MSRP.
Oof.
Maybe even like maybe a little over that, like 39, $40, someone in there. Yeah, I don't know. I think Robusto's like 30, 35 MSRP, maybe closer to 40. Yeah, they went up. All that Prometheus stuff, like the MSRP actually went up on it not too long ago. Seemed like.
Bro, when I see Opus X here for $20, they have Opus X Obscuro for $25. I've seen it at the other place. And when I see it that price point, I'm like, I could be totally happy smoking that tonight. Like, so
Mhm.
anything more just seems stupid. Like, for example, I could smoke the Rocky Patel DBS for $27 or Opus X Obscuro.
Yeah.
Hmm. Do you need to think about it? Do you need a minute?
No, no,
Like, do you need a?
no,
Would you pay
no,
$2 more for?
no. I don't want any pizza. Nope, I'm good.
Yeah, bro. Like, bro, that hurts you, man. You're like, who would be buying this? And I guess that begs the question, talking about comparing to its competitors. So you could have a great cigar and then different price points and great cigars at each price point. But once you just talk about a cigar, and let's say, like, should I smoke this? Try it. That's one thing if you want to just try it. But should you come back to it and you look at the price point of your DBS for $27 and you look at regular Opus for $22, you're like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna save my money, smoke the better cigar. Like
yeah,
I don't see there's not even a question about
yeah.
that. There's some great anomalies in there. So people say, well, how much does a good cigar cost? I'm like, hold on. There's just too much factors to that. I'm glad they
Yeah.
asked me because I have a wealth of information smoking pretty much every cigar that's ever been made. I mean, not within reason, not everything, but more than the average guy. And I can narrow things down real quick in that, like, they're always great cigars as a guide, meaning this is absolutely worth it at this price. And if something is around that price, give or take, plus or minus a few dollars, and if it's not even close, like even the DBS was $2 cheaper than the Opus. I'm supposed over DBS,
Yeah,
So then,
yeah,
if I rather have Opus $5 more than DBS, why would I pay $5 more for DBS? It's a stupid purchase. And that's how you can narrow it down. So it's almost like guess who? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you remember that game? Is he wearing a hat?
hmm
you're like,
hmm
the Rocky Patel BS. Oh shit,
yeah,
yeah, dude. And I'm not trying to shit on
yeah.
Rocky Patel. I think
Yeah, yeah, I know, I get it. It definitely seems like a lot of companies are going for broke and trying to make that $100 cigar, if you will, or that high end cigar. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends what it's worth to you. I mean, if it maybe it's your favorite brand, maybe you love Rocky Patel. Maybe that conviction is your unicorn. I don't know.
they're playing some games though, man. Because come on, man. Like, okay, and the conviction I get in the sense of it's just like Maquiba was already a luxury brand. Like they want to make a Spectre kind of cigar. Okay, but DBS for $24, $27, to me it makes more noise because, like, cigars. You don't go from
What
your
what
core line is
what did you say about the ALR? It's not age limited or rare.
yeah, no, what a waste. I think Rocky Patel is great, $10 and less. There's some great cigars, and especially online. Online, dude, when I got that 20th natural in like Robusto or short
Yeah, I've had
Robusto,
that.
Rothschild,
Yeah.
I'll, $20 for a 5-pack. I smoked the shit out of that. I thought it was a great work cigar.
Mhm.
4.5 by 50, box press, tasty, really nice. $4. Yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah. But
What was that?
I'm
What
not
was
paying
the one you
$30 for a
really
deep.
liked? The one you really loved, the Sun Grown Maduro. I like that one. That was real good. That was strong. That was
Dude,
a good, strong
that's a good
cigar.
time. I thought that was a great time.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I
That was probably the
thought that was a
best
great
Rocky
cigar.
I've smoked. Yeah, best one I've smoked from Rocky, I think. For me, anyway.
Well, you didn't try the other. What's the other one in that 5-pack? Remember, I smoked. Besides that, there was another one that I really enjoyed, and I can't remember the name of it. I'd have to go
Mm,
back.
yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, there was one in there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is. Yeah, price does affect the blend. Of course, it does. Like everything affects everything. Even the competition. Because even your competition now is not your competition tomorrow or a year from now. Like 20 years ago, Opus X had no competition in the luxury category, whether it was Dominican or Nicaraguan. Like what in 1995 was he from Dominican or Nicaraguan? Even nothing. Yeah, but then 10 years later, you have Padrón. By probably 2010, Padrón's crushing it with the family reserves and everything. And the market shifted to like, you know what? People want stronger, darker stuff,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And then enter AJ. That's a whole nother category. And I wonder if AJ didn't have connections with Altadis and General to make so many different blends with their tobacco or his tobacco and change core lines. Imagine if AJ was just only AJ. He wouldn't have progressed as fast as he did if he didn't have Altadis in General. That's
Yeah.
my opinion.
Oh,
He still
I
could
agree.
have been up.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like honestly, I'll say this. I'm not 100% well versed in all of AJ, like AJ's true lines, like New World and all that shit. I know he has cigars that are his, right? Like when I say that, I mean like non collabs, right? Like not like Monte Cristo by AJF
Like
or I can't say that I've been
Cigar.
over. Yeah, I haven't been overly crazy about any of his cigars. Now the collab shit, I love a lot of those cigars.
Yeah, I've said it for years. AJ works better with other people.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, yes, AJ quality, AJ's price point, his longevity when he makes stuff, it's very
Hmm.
consistent. But when he has other people saying, yeah, but we want to blend like this. Because if you just leave
Yeah.
AJ, like, for example, here you go, one of the best AJs of all time, and it's not an AJ, it's an AJ, but it's under General, though. And this was the greatest regret, I think, the fact that this is not being made anymore.
Oh, I
And
know. That's
that
a
this
great.
should have been
Wait a minute. Did you like the Dragon AJ better than that? I meant to ask you.
Hmm. I didn't even think to compare it to. I didn't even
Or
think to
are
compare
you
it
gonna
to.
smoke? Are you gonna smoke that next? You can compare it.
Yeah, but no, I just smoked an Opus X, so I was gonna just hang out with that cigar.
That's
I
okay.
think
But
that
that's gonna be heavier. That's a good
now,
second cigar.
yeah,
You
but
get you get Sacco on to close the show. You smoke the Christmas cigar. Christmas with
the Christmas
Sacco.
Christmas cigar I think is more limited because it has a very specific profile, and if you're looking for that, it's amazing. If you're looking for a sentimental Christmas cigar, it's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal cigar. Um, but I think the Gurkha AJ is a more usable blend, meaning you could smoke more of those if that makes any sense.
Mhm.
Whereas they're probably around equal to each other as amazing cigars, but which would give this a higher value. Like the fact that that cigar was that price point
Mhm.
is like that was they gave that away. I don't know how $10, $12 for that cigar. Um, but I remember I said that was one of the few mid tiers. Remember I said that was a mid tier that could kill other luxury cigars. It really could.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying though?
Mhm.
So, but the problem is availability. In this case, it's not available. You can't get it because of hype or because like they're making it limited. It is limited. Like it was a one time. Imagine Opus X was a one time deal, so it was a one
No,
time
yeah.
ever. And how good it is, right? It doesn't matter. So that's a huge factor. You know what I'm saying? Though I believe that once the Dragons are done, maybe they'll still continue the collaborations. I hope
I
they.
hope so, because I tell you what, that Oliva was amazing. I mean, you weren't lying. You weren't, not that I thought you were lying, but it was amazing.
No,
It was really
it was I did sell a big bill there in a sense, but it was all based on truth. You know, I don't to get Richie that excited like that. You know, and that's what I like
good.
about he was excited like that when I'm walking because it's just me and myself. And so to me to get that happy and like that excitement, like I can't fake
Yeah,
that. Like you know what I'm saying though? Like and I put a lot of
yeah,
effort. Like imagine each one of those videos to go downtown and walk around and to try to get spots to tape it and everything and bring up the important parts I think to the show and it's also kind of difficult because I'm trying to not get people in the background trying to keep I don't want hot girls walking by thinking I'm taping them so I have to like wait from the past
yeah.
okay I got about 40 seconds over here maybe a minute over here and so but I like the live vibe to it it gives uh I don't know man it's there is
I
something about
have to.
cigar
I,
that
I
just
I agree with you. I do like the lie, but I have to say I do agree with Sacco too. I like seeing your facial expressions when you smoke these cigars. So you know,
Well, because there's no interruption, and I'm not saying you're interrupting me,
right,
but bottom line is when two people are talking, I can't focus 100% on the cigar. It's
right,
impossible.
right,
I'm wrong. The cigar's not getting in the way. Like this is a great cigar, Opus X, and this is absolutely a 4.8 cigar. Okay, banger, lifetime worthy, box worthy. We already knew that about Opus X Angels Share, but like, it's something about when you smoke a cigar, walking, walking and smoking a cigar in the weather out here, like you really like. I don't know, man. Nothing else matters. Like, you know what I'm saying? Though, like, what I focus on is the cigar, you know? And,
hmm
yeah, no, it's, did you ever walk and smoke cigars? Like, it's a different thing.
Oh yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Take
yeah.
a cigar. You know what cigar I love to walk and smoke with in the cold weather was the Padrón 26, the small one, the 35. I remember one
Mm,
time, like early spring, like March, late March, and I took my daughter to the beach on the North Shore of Long Island, right? Long Island. And it was like a boardwalk, and we're still in our winter coats, but it was like a sunny day with like a cold wind. I remember smoking that Maduro while I'm walking with her, and she was running around like and looking through the little telescope things, the binoculars to see
yeah.
a place that I won't go to because of that dog, and then that
Mm,
story. But remember that story when I hooked up with that girl, whatever. But anyways,
yeah, yeah.
I won't ever go back to Connecticut. But the point is, smoking that cigar along the beach, and I'm like, dude, this is with the fresh air and the trees and the beach, the North Shore of Long Island. It was just a great experience. That was the best Padron 26 Maduro experience I ever had, and I was just so happy it was my kid. And I really think being in the outdoors, even if you're just outside, like on a hammock or by a campfire, there's something
Mhm.
about smoking a cigar you enjoy. I think
Oh yeah.
you'll
Oh
get
yeah.
something you didn't realize.
I
Um,
love smoking a cigar by the campfire. I love smoking a cigar. That's great.
yeah, I think you know what I haven't done, which I'm not going to do because of the cost. But there are places here in Florida that have strip clubs and steakhouses, and you can smoke cigars. I smoke cigars around naked women, and I don't think I want to do that. I, you know,
Yeah, I
you know.
don't think you wouldn't be able to concentrate on the cigar.
Hold on, bitch. I'm in the last third. All right, get the fuck. Yes,
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't be able to concentrate on the cigar.
yeah. It's just. Or I want to concentrate on the cigar. You're like, so what would be the right?
You're trying to puff, and some bitch is just coming by sitting on your lap.
Yeah, yeah. You're just like literally, like I gotta like bring it around her head to smoke it. Like her head's here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, like like you try to like put the dollar in, but then like you give her a third-degree burn with your ash. Like, I'm sorry, it was an accident. Yeah, I can't. I honestly don't think I'd want that.
yeah.
Yeah, they got these places down here called like Rachel's. It's a high-end steakhouse, and is a glass It's a massive place. And because some of the guys that lived out told me about it, I'm like, nah, I'm not. Dude, these guys go down there and drop 1-2 G's. I mean, go out for steak dinner,
Oof.
and then they have shower rooms there, and you hire picture a VIP, but you get a shower, like a huge like shower to yourself, like a walk-in. I mean, like you're like a 10-foot room. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
like yeah, really, that's gonna get expensive.
There's no cigars in shower rooms. I
Not
can't
in the
stress that
shower.
enough.
What I'm
Yeah.
saying is, dude, you're not talking about a $20 dance. You're like
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
talking about like topping.
Yeah. You're probably getting some extras if you're going to the shower, I would assume.
Well, I'm saying you're talking about thousands of dollars at that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of odd, like kind of an odd service to throw in that type of establishment, I would say. Hmm. Hmm.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
probably. Yeah.
that just sounds like. And in the end, so what? You're gonna go home and it'd be the same thing if you just would have dreamt about it. But at least you could have kept the money.
Yeah.
You
Oh, yeah. That sounds like an
know, at least
expensive
dream. Up, I didn't blow $2,000.
night. Yeah.
You know, as you get older, you're like, oh, what's gonna happen? Oh, there's gonna be beautiful women there. Yeah. Oh, and then and then this could happen. You're like, yeah, for how much?
Yeah.
Like, no.
Not going to say I've never been to plenty of those places in my younger days. Been a long time.
Younger, but you got responsibility. You got responsibility now. And now,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
dropping 2 G's on something that's stupid. You know what I'm saying? Though,
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot.
2 G's, shit, man. Like
Yeah.
2 G's is like
You might as well
it
take
literally
the
is like
you
two and a half.
if you're going to spend 2 G's, you might as well get the 1 month girlfriend for 3,000. I mean, at that point, right? Yeah.
Exactly. No, 2 G's. I could have literally paid 2.5 of child support.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's literally like that's like 10 weeks of not worrying about paying child support. Or you could blow it for one night. It's the name of the place, the restaurant's called Rachel's. It's a steakhouse, strip house, but it's a legitimate steakhouse. Like, you don't have to. How do I explain this? The guys told me the dancers are not allowed to come into the restaurant side unless if you invite them. But he says like they look at you through the glass. So yeah, you want to be eating steak with like pretty like naked women looking at the glass, and
It's like you're at the fucking
like
you're at like the fucking zoo, and they're just like, well, you feel like the animal in the zoo display. They're just watching you through the glass while you
I
eat.
like kids that with no food, like yo so hambre, I'm hungry, If like, and then you sit there, but then he says like if you like tell them to come here, they have to put on a little silk nightie though. They have to wear a silk nightie when
Mm,
they're at the steakhouse. Why? Why would you want to come to silk? Now they're not even now they're clothed. Yeah, it's a silk nightie. But now what? You sit there eating your porterhouse, and then you look at her. She's gonna want to drink at least, right?
yeah.
She's not gonna sit down. You just use it like cut my steak. Could you cut my steak? Just feed it to me.
That's crazy.
You feed me my steak, and then I'll feed you my sausage. All right, next at 10. Like it's only funny now because I'm never gonna go there. But like going there, like I just can picture you're like, of course you can get to like, who the fuck would get their car detailed? And as soon as you get to like, sir, would you like your car detailed? You're like, fuck yeah, you fucking yeah. Meanwhile, you come back, every dime or gun or bullet you left in your car is gone, gone. Like because
Yeah.
you're gonna get back in your because obviously you can't bring that to there, right? So you left your 9 or your 38 in the glove box, that's gone. Or
Yeah.
somebody borrowed it for hour or two. You know what I'm saying? Though,
Yeah. Have a good night. 4:55. Have a good one.
Yeah, dude, that's a lot of trust. That's a lot of trust.
Yeah.
Like, who's working at a detail place at 3 a.m. outside the strip club? You're trusting a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And then what? You're gonna go home the next day, and the wife's like, "Wow, your car is so clean. Who got it? Who did this for you?" Oh, it's a detail place called Rachel's. Really?
Why
Yeah.
does it smell like vanilla and baby powder in here?
Dude, it's just glitter everywhere. Just fucking pink. Oh God. Yeah,
Smells
dude.
like
No.
smells like apricots and tates.
Yeah, it's just oof. A New Jersey pizza. I don't know how these places don't get like. How could you? Well, these guys are telling like, wait, so you could? They have private VIP shower rooms. Like, how is that legal? Like, how I could?
I don't know.
What's? Come on, man. Come on, bro.
I would assume it's probably not legal, and they're just doing it anyway. But yeah, who knows? I don't know. There's probably I guess it depends how far that shower is going, right? Like if she's just washing you or something, that's different. But if you're paying for services, then that's probably not legal.
Yeah. Okay. So you stand there, she watches you, and you're like, and then.
Sorry, so there's no happy endings
She's
here.
like,
Get your
you
fucking
see Rich,
clothes on and get out.
like you're fresh now. Or the other way around. Like you're watching them, you're like, yeah, baby.
Like, all right, time's up. Time to go. Get the fuck out.
Great job. Yeah. No, Richie would go in there, be like, what kind of soap she got? And it's like Irish Spring. Like, I can't.
I can't do
This
this.
ain't quality soap.
You're bringing in your own bag of fucking. You bring in your own bag of high quality soaps.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not using Old Spice. Yeah, no, dude, I've been on this Dr. Squatch. Look at the ingredients of Dr.
Yeah, I
Squatch,
like
man.
that soap. I've got some. I got the bourbon and the wood barrel or whatever.
Yeah, I went through those.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, I
Cool
like that
Breeze,
one
the
too.
blue one. The blue,
Yeah.
great.
I even
Fucking
like the
great, man.
pine tar. That
The
black
great.
one's good. The pine tar, even that smells pretty good.
The pine tar is good, but did you find that the suds would like stain the walls, or no? It didn't happen.
Yeah, they
Because one time I
have
had
a black tint to the suds. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I, white shower, so like it's just. I remember I had it
yeah.
once in Colorado, and she's like, afterwards, she's like, "What happened to the shower?" I look at the shower; it looked like black spray paint everywhere. I'm like, oh, I had to throw.
Yeah, I get that.
Say
Yeah,
you have to wash that.
yeah. Wash the shower after using it. Yeah,
Like the pine tar smell though,
yeah,
and it has a great gritty. No, but that's ever, man. Like and I take 2 showers a day. Like one bar will last me like almost a month. So for like $5, like people say, "Oh, that's expensive soap." I'm like, dude, like you're washing your balls twice a day. This is good soap, man. There's no chemicals. You look at any other soaps, it's like, oh, blue number this, red
yeah.
number this. Like those chemicals made from petroleum products.
I think they even
Look it up.
make. I think they make toothpaste too, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know
Like
about that.
a natural toothpaste. I'd have to look that up. I think they do deodorant as well. Maybe. I think
I
they make a
use their deodorant.
couple different.
Their deodorant is $12, but it's worth it. It lasts a long time, and like it's if you look at the ingredients, it's just natural scent. You don't want to be rubbing aluminum, zirconium, or all those chemicals like glycols and propylene glycol. You don't want to rub those chemicals in your underarms. That shit will fuck up your whole body because
Yeah,
that's the largest pores and everything in your armpits. So you shove that. It's proven. So many people got Alzheimer. You know what I'm saying? No, a lot of women get Alzheimer's because they wear deodorant every day, and it has aluminum. And now I love it. Now they say, "Oh, it's aluminum free," like it's a good thing. So you're like, "Why have you been selling aluminum all this time, though?" Oh,
right.
because there's nothing cheaper than aluminum to clog the pores to stop the sweating. So think about it, you're literally shoving aluminum in your pore, metal, and you wonder why people get cancer. Like you
Yeah,
wonder why people get cancer.
yeah, yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
You
there's
call
a
me
lot of
because
shit. I mean, there's truth to it. I mean, hell, there's a lot of our foods are banned, like in Europe and shit. Like, do you know Skittles are banned in Europe? Skittles,
they're
but
illegal.
that's because of all the food dyes and shit in them.
They say it's not safe. You know how much food dyes are in Skittles? Eat a bag
Oh
of
yeah,
Skittles and look at your shit. It's not. It doesn't look right. You know what I'm saying? They're like,
yeah.
not that Richie's like out in a candy store bathroom. He's like, now look at this, right? Look at this. Fucking disgusting. Get the
Taste the rainbow, taste the rainbow, and shit the rainbow.
it tastes. Plus, I don't like that. Anybody telling me to taste it, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? No,
Yeah.
but that's a command. You taste the rainbow. You know, you're like that's like a 451 Mafia Don. Now you're gonna taste the rainbow. You're like, I don't want to taste the rainbow. You like it?
he's
You
just he's just he's just shoving Skittles into your mouth.
Vinny, taste it again. He said, oh no. Yeah, so yeah, dude, I don't like that. I don't. You know, you're right. I think our whole mainstream food and forget about desserts and snacks. Like if you look at like Drake's cakes or like all the chemicals in that stuff, like it's
Oh
not
yeah.
bad enough if you're eating like real desserts because it's so much fat and sugar in it and dairy. But that even if it's natural, then you throw in these fake stuff. You know which chemicals like these like honey buns or all these fake stuff, dude. It's not even
Oh
food.
yeah. 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 There's a lot of chemicals in a lot of our food for sure.
Yeah, like look at the package of Twinkies. You know what I'm saying? They're like
Yeah, and they wonder why people are getting stomach and colon cancer. I don't know. It's a mystery.
not a Twinkie, right? It has they say, oh, it's got a cream filling. A cream filling. What dairy product do you know that cannot be refrigerated and be good for like 20 years shelf life? What kind of dairy product is that?
Yeah,
Does that
that's a
make
good
sense?
point.
Dude, leave out a cup of milk overnight. You're gonna smell it tomorrow. So think
Yeah, yeah,
like you go to a real
yeah,
bakery, right? You buy an eclair or something with a cream filling. You got to eat it that
mm,
day. The next day, if you put in the
yeah,
fridge, you can't leave them out for a week. They're
yeah,
they're good for
yeah,
today and tomorrow. That's it.
yeah,
So Twinkies, if they're good for 20 years, it's bad for you forever. Like that shit you're eating, putting in your body. Your body
yeah.
stomach's like, oh, what is this? A banana? A Twinkie? Your stomach's like, the fuck are we supposed to do with this? Like it's trying to break it down. They're like, whoa, is there any nutrients in this? Not so much, you know.
I mean, I'm sure you've seen the time lapse videos of them like taking McDonald's food and shit, like letting it sit for months on end, and like no mold grows on it. It just doesn't break down. It looks the fucking exact same as when
They
they
leave
set it on the plate.
it out in the wilderness. Do you ever see like when they put out like GMO vegetables or even like fake those snacks or something? Animals will see
Yeah,
like bite and they're
yeah. Even they
like
don't want to eat it. Yeah,
squirrels won't even eat GMO corn. Like
yeah. Yeah, there's a problem when an animal's turning its nose up to the food. It's probably not good for you.
yeah. Put it this way: if it has a commercial, don't eat it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a good point.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Though.
you like like a lot of commercials you see with food, like let's take pizza for example. You know, I'm sure you've seen them, right? You get the commercial that they've got the perfect slice, they're pulling it out, and the cheese is just ooey and gooey, and it's stretching a foot long. You know, that's glue, right? That's not actually cheese; it's glue. They use it for the commercial.
Of course. Same thing with
Yeah.
the burger. You're never gonna see your Big Mac looking like that. Impossible.
No, no, no.
Impossible.
What's the did you ever see the old movie with oh fuck, what was his name? Oh my god, he married Catherine Zeta Jones. What was his name?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Uh, Douglas.
Michael Douglas. The movie Falling Down. Have you ever seen that movie where he
Yes.
went crazy and he goes in the fast food place? He's like, "What the fuck is this?" They give him his burger. He's like, "You look at the picture. It's nice. It's 3 inches thick, and I get this miserable squash thing." And he pulls out an Uzi. It was a funny
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the first movie that was realistic of its time. Meaning, when I say realistic, meaning people of course, for the record, I'm not agreeing with his responses to things,
Yeah,
but you could every regular person could understand his anger about
yeah,
it,
yeah,
and then basically, he was just calling out the bullshit of our
yeah, yeah,
society. You know what I'm saying?
He was
Like,
obviously mentally
he was
unstable.
acting as a correct, but a lot of truth in that movie. Even like remember with the traffic jam. As remember, like so he pulls out like the rocket launcher. He's like, so what you're trying to tell me is you're creating use your budget, because if you don't just use your budget and go over it with overtime, then next year you'll get a small budget. So you have to fucking spend all of your money and create a traffic jam to pretend you're working on something that doesn't have to be fixed, so you can get more money next year, right? He's like, yes, and then he's like,
Yeah.
it's like, he's,
Yeah, that was it.
you know, he's like, so people are stuck in traffic and they can't get home, to their family because you're your budget. Like, and that's the truth, man. Road work,
Yeah,
it's like 20 cars. It's like one guy with the pothole. Like,
yeah. You gonna smoke another cigar after
yeah.
that?
So I booked. I probably am. We're gonna see what happens. I booked my flight. Uh, I'm leaving on the 29th.
Oh, okay, cool. You
Go
go
see
see
my
your
daughter
daughter.
for I go see her for like 8 days.
Nice.
I'll leave it on a Monday, coming back on a Tuesday.
Nice.
So it'll be a good time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at rental, and because I'm gonna stay with Stash, and most rental cars they want $50 to $70. It's crazy in New York, right?
Wow.
A day.
A day. Yeah.
So for a car, but guess how much for a box truck, like a moving van?
How
Like
much?
$20.
You're gonna rent a moving
$20 a
van?
day. Yeah.
You're gonna go
So
visit. You're gonna go visit
I'm gonna be
AP on
doing.
Long Island in the moving van.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna do cigar videos in the box. I'm gonna open the box truck and put a couple of chairs in it.
Yeah. There you go. AP, you heard it. I said
I'm gonna have a
I
cigar.
said Long Island, and he said yeah, so he just agreed.
Well, yeah, because listen, I'm fully agreeing with the nickname. It's a real nickname. I use it all the time. It's a great name because we're not talking. When you say Long Island, we're talking about Suffolk County, Nassau County, New York, and the two counties that left, Brooklyn and Queens. So those are part of Brooklyn, New York, and Queens, New York. But yeah, I'll use the nickname. It absolutely is a nickname with no legal grounds. Because when I say I'm going to Long Island, no, I'm going to Suffolk County. Right? It's a nice nickname. That's what it is, and I'll use it. It's a nice thing because it's a. If I say, oh yeah, I'm going to Suffolk County, it seems like very specific, but that is specific. But Long Island's like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to Long Island. I think it makes people more comfortable.
Yeah.
Once you give something a nickname, it becomes more comfortable. You know what I'm saying, though? Because I think like town and state is like your legal first and last name. So if I said, oh, yeah, I'm gonna go see my friend John Carrigan, like, what? Oh, Johnny Bags. Oh yeah, Johnny Bags. So it's not there's nothing legal about a nickname, but it's more comfortable. Like I just said, I'm going to Johnny Stash's house. That's not his name, but Johnny Stash. Everyone knows Johnny Stash. It's a real nickname, you know. So
I just like riling you up about
yeah, no, yeah. I mean,
it.
like I said, I mean, I've been saying I always go like this Long Island. So I say it all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's a great nickname. And you literally have half of the island that left. How could that even be possible? How could you have four counties, Brooklyn and Queens, Nassau and Suffolk, and Brooklyn and Queens left? It's still there. Did you look at the map?
Yeah.
So if you're in Queens, you're like, I'm not on Long Island. I'm like, look, and you're like, no, I'm in New York City, and you're like, okay, and I'm a connoisseur. Like,
You're not a connoisseur. You're not. You're never going to be to that level. You should just give it up. I'd close the fucking channel down if I were you.
yeah, bro, that's it, man.
Last fucking show.
What'd you think about? What'd you think about that bird today, huh?
Yeah. Did he end up flying away?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So it flew into that window, and I was talking to the guy. I just got to the gym. I was checking in. I was bullshitting with the guy. and because he was telling me about he's going to school, but he's working at Planet Fitness until he graduates. And then also he's like, "Holy shit, did you see that bird?" But I was facing not towards the window. I'm like, "What bird?" And I go by the door, and right outside the door there was like a bird, and I thought it was dead because the way it was, and his hands were like just doing a little twitching, and I'm like,
Mm.
"Oh shit!" I went out there, and I'm like, "I don't know if he's dead or not." And I'm like, "Give me a glove." So he gives me a glove. Should have gave me 2 gloves, but he gave me 1 glove. I don't know. So I got 1 glove. So now Richie's standing outside with like cut off sleeves outside of Planet Fitness, with like wearing 1 black glove and like holding like a dead bird. So people like walking in like, "What the fuck?" Like,
And your videotaping it.
yeah, exactly.
they're
So
like
eventually, like,
Sack. When did Sack move to Florida?
I know, but eventually these girls were walking by, and I said, "Look, the bird, he didn't die." And then of course they're like, "Oh my god, the poor bird!" Like you hold any animal, girls is like, "Oh my god." These girls were smoke shows, but all you have to do is hold an animal, like, "Oh my god, it's a bird! Oh my god!" Bird in your hand, especially a wild bird.
Yeah, I mean, you
But
should talk to Sack. He might be able to loan you a couple birds.
mhm. Yeah, shit, man. That's how you meet girls. I guess just get like get a pet bird and put in your hand and walk around. But you're like, "Yeah, look at my bird, huh? Look at that, yeah." But first he was like unconscious, and then like this, and then also he had this like. When I had the video, he had to stare. He was just like, and his mouth was open like this. And then I took some water, just like cooled him down. Just put a little water, not like dumping, not like just a
Yeah,
little water, had it around his beak and everything. And then I put some in my hand. When he got up, I put some in my hand, like put it near his beak, and then eventually he's just staring at me. And then he moved his wings just a little bit. I could tell he was trying to get out, but I kind of kept my hands closed for a minute. And I just waited for him, just like, "No, it's okay." And I'm petting his. Do you know what it's like petting a wild bird head in your hand? You're just petting his beak and his head. It was just, he completely submitted. He's like, "You win. You win." I'm like, "All right." And then I held my hand open,
mhm,
and he stayed there. And he relaxed. And he just relaxed. He's like, "Yes, yes, yes." And then all of a sudden, it was just like, I felt my hand go down because, like, for a little bird though, like they push down and like they take off like a rocket. It's amazing. Imagine being able to just like jump off the ground and just take off in the air, like you know.
yeah,
It's really it's a beautiful thing. And his wings were so. I was able to pull his wings out and look at his feathers and everything. It's a beautiful moment. I mean, that doesn't really happen. How many times that happen in your life?
yeah, 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 yeah. Normally, you can't get too close to birds.
No, and I was so worried that he was going to die, but he would have
Hmm.
died if I left him there because he's just on the ground right in front of the door. If somebody would have stepped on him, that would have been terrible. Because people walking in on their cell phone, no one's paying attention. And it was a little bird,
Right.
man. So it was right in front of the door. The door would have opened up and crushed him.
Yeah.
So um, now if he was dead, okay, I would have thrown him in the garbage. He's dead. But I gave him 20 minutes. I held him, and
Yeah.
that's all he needed. He fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like imagine hitting a glass wall. He's like, "Oh shit!" And then he fell because he hit the wall, and the guy said he saw something hit the window and then just fell. Like, so that's a long fall for him. I'm surprised he
Yeah.
didn't die. You know, what I'm
Right. Or break something, or yeah. Well, Richie, I'm going to warn you.
saying? I think the fact
I want to warn you. I got 7% left on my phone, so I got a few more minutes. I'm just letting
uh,
you know.
it's a great episode, man. Whatever you want to go, you know, maybe I'll save that stick for another time. And
Yeah, you can see if
this was a great
Socko's
night.
around, or see if somebody else is around. You might be able to smoke another one.
Yeah, we'll see. I might save it. I sometimes I don't like to do back to back on the lives. You know what I'm saying though? Um, I'm not my old self. Like with my old lives, sometimes I used to do 3 cigars. Holy shit! You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a
I've been
lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
yeah, I've been pacing myself. But I mean, I make content every day, so so that's the good thing about here. The weather's pretty much always good. And it's been
Oh yeah.
nice making videos down by the beach too. Environment, like, dude, you see how beautiful it is down here in the neighborhoods and like
Oh yeah.
the beach, and it's like it's it's such a vibe just down there, and like I got so lucky that my cigar lounge is 2 blocks away from there, so I hang out there and
Mhm.
I'll go there either buy a cigar and espresso, and then I'll leave my car there and walk 2 blocks, and and then I'm in that neighborhood, and then I can walk down to the beach, and it's just really, it's always pumping down there, man. It's always pumping. Like, I'm not saying it's as crazy as Miami, but that's a good thing. But it has a lot of people. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's always thousands around there. Like, I mean, and I don't know where these people are coming from. You know what I'm saying, though? I don't think you can meet normal people down here. But it's just nothing but like pretty much 8 and up. Like if you say, oh, the girl's 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10, like you don't see any like regular or ugly women down there. Everyone is like supermodel or almost a supermodel looking. You're like, what is happening? Like, what is
Right.
happening?
Right. I can imagine.
And like almost every car down there is like Rolls Royce, Ferrari, Corvette, Porsche,
Hmm.
Mercedes, like and like sports cars. It's just nothing but like sports cars, and
Well,
just like
you did see a Cybertruck today, though. That was pretty cool.
Cybertruck. Yeah,
they they
it's
look weird. I've never seen one in person. They look weird.
it's stupid. It's a really stupid looking vehicle. It looks
Yeah.
big and heavy, and it looks like a refrigerator with wheels. It's all stainless
Those
steel.
things are they're bulletproof apparently.
What caliber?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I've heard they're bulletproof. I saw I think Joe Rogan shot one with a bow and arrow and it bounced right off. Because
That's
I think he had Elon Musk on his podcast and he drove it in and he actually shot Elon Musk's Cybertruck with a bow and arrow and it just bounced off of it.
wow. That's impressive because let me tell you something. A real compound bow, with
Hmm.
tip, that shit can go through body armor. That stuff is it really is a lot of power on a bow and arrow. Not a lot of range.
Hmm.
You know, bow and arrow, dude. You do not. You'd rather get shot than get hit with a bow and arrow. If somebody in
Yeah.
close range with an arrow, you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Could you make it possibly? But like center
Yeah.
mass, or in the stomach, no chance. Like just
Yeah.
imagine, dude, you're so fucked. Oh god,
Yeah.
because those
Yeah.
blades, everything like. Thank God we don't use bow and arrow, or like what I'm saying though. Like
Right.
I had the pub and somebody came by on a horse and it's like, like. But the good thing is though, you had a shield, so I guess you have to carry a shield now. You just like you know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. They can do some damage for sure.
yeah, bro. Like, yeah, and the problem is like, well, it's two problems. The fact that you got shot with a bow and arrow, and if you're alive, now the problem is you got to get it out, and that's a problem. Like what I'm saying though, because they're gonna have to like
Yeah.
break both sides and then pull it out. And oof,
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it does. And back then they didn't have what do you
Anesthesia.
anesthesia? Yeah, oof.
Yeah. 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 You imagine like Civil War time, like getting a fucking leg amputated with no anesthesia. Oof.
Yeah, well, yeah, just picture using a handsaw, and there you go. That's it.
Oof. Oof.
Oof, right? You know what I'm saying though?
Bite down on this, sir. You'll be all right. Holy shit.
You know what I'm saying though? Like brutal. And then the gangrene and the infections, like you know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Yeah. Well, that's
Luck,
what killed most people. Yeah.
yeah, luckily back then people lived to like 40 or 35 years old. You know what I'm saying though? So like,
Yeah.
you know, oh my
Yeah.
god, yeah, dude, like back then, like getting cut or an infection is pretty much even like water. It's one thing you're out, in a fresh area. If you were living like in a city or you know, obviously medieval times, but like in the 1700s, 1800s, where are you drinking your water if you didn't boil it? You got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Though,
Right.
like
Right.
get dysentery, oof.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for
no,
sure.
we take those things for granted.
Hmm.
Like now, think about our life. Like, oh yeah, we're using satellites to talk to imaginary people smoking Opus X. You know, what I'm saying no, but like 100 years ago, they're like, "Ooh, I got bit by a mosquito. I'm gonna die." You know, what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
You know, you know, or like you had to have like 8, maybe have 2 of them that will do it back then, 100 years ago. It's because if your wife got pregnant, there was a lot of miscarriages because they didn't have X-rays or MRI or childbirth. There was no guarantee, even if the wife would make it, because they don't. What the hell do they know?
Right.
You want a C-section 1902?
Right.
Oh my God, that was it. If they cut the baby out, to save the baby, the mother wasn't making it. You know what I'm saying? No, like oof.
Hmm.
You know,
Right.
bad time for women. Like as a guy, like you're like, I'll get another wife. You know what I'm saying? No, like, it's like,
Yeah.
she was a good wife. We were married 3 years. We had 2 children.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. It
Yeah, it's
wasn't
different.
uncommon.
Except for the Irish, though. Even back then, you look at like in America, like when the Irish came over, late 1800s, 1900s, 15 kids, 12 kids, like whatever it was, Irish women had no problem having 10, 12 kids. You know what I'm saying? No.
Oh yeah. No, I'm taking this. It's probably about to die, but I was taking my band off.
Mm.
I think
So,
I
what
got.
would you rate that cigar compared to regular Opus for the size and also the age? You got to factor that in.
I think it was very good. The size is great. I really like the skinny gauge with that long, the long length. Obviously I would smoke more of them. The age is maybe subjective. Like I don't know, some guys maybe won't appreciate it as much because I will say like it is smoother and you can tell like the flavors have melded together a little more, but they're not as pronounced, right? Like you can definitely tell there's 10 years of age on it, right? It's more calm than say a fresh Opus. But see, even fresh Opus have 3 years of age, so I guess really we're talking 13 years of age, post roll, right? So
Yeah, that's a long time, and sometimes with that much time, 10 years additional,
mhm.
I'd always rather not have that. Meaning, if the guy said, I have one that's 10-year aged and one that's 2 year aged, I'll take that one because I want 10 years, even though I would still enjoy it. But I think cigars lose too much, my opinion, really after 5 years. That's my opinion. Like at 5 years, if
Sure.
some, now I'm not saying it still can't be great. It still could be great, but I'd rather have that with, would you rather have that buy at the store, like, made last year? I'm not made last year, I mean, but sold last year or 10 years? What would you think?
Yeah, I think I'd maybe like to have a little fresher one. Maybe put like 5 years on it or something. Maybe not 10. Yeah, I think that's not saying it's not good. It certainly is,
No,
but
I'm not
like you
saying that
said,
at all. But
you can tell that it's got 10 years of age on it.
yeah, I mean, even let's just say 5 or 6 years. Um, I'm not sure where the drop off is. And I think every cigar and the size and then the humidity kept that is a factor. So,
Yeah, I think that's different for every cigar. I would say, every cigar has its peak. I would
yeah,
say.
I'd say though with brands like LFD, like Double Arrow, or like full AJ cigars. Honestly, like I've had full AJ cigars with like 5 years on it. It's like it didn't give a shit. It didn't give a shit really. You know what I'm saying? So like I think
Mhm.
some things, but then again, no one's going crazy for aged AJ cigars. But
Right, right.
but they're not gonna. You know what I'm saying though? Like that Monte Cristo 1935 I smoked yesterday is so strong and heavy. I think if you
Mhm.
gave that cigar 10 years, it would still be a full strength cigar. I don't think
Mhm.
maybe it would marinate more. I don't know. Um, I don't know. But Padrones, though, we saw when Dream Life sent me the 64 with just 2 years on it, the 64 Maduro, it lost more balls than the 26 4 years. So that was interesting. The 64 dropped off fast, which is interesting. And I think because the 64 is more known, for the raw power. And I think once the 64 lost its raw power, it just didn't feel like a 64 anymore. And then, even though it was still great, but it was a more reserved 64. And I think smoking a reserved 64 then just didn't feel like a 64. It felt like a great cigar. But Yeah, I guess. Oh, I think we lost him. We definitely lost him. This is a godlike cigar. It's a box worthy cigar. It's a lifetime cigar. It's a 4.8, great construction, draw throughout. The flavor is magical. And I think it's very unique. Comparing it to the regular Opus X, though, the regular Opus X is darker and stronger. Not massively, but it is. Still long, heavy finish, though. And instead of the classic Fuente charred wood, which you get normally from the second to the last third, on this cigar was more of a really nice, fresh cedar. So black pepper spice, pungent floral notes and pungent sweet notes of raw sugar, creamy like a vanilla. It was really a delicious bouquet. Uh, and just holding the smoke, you're like, all these flavors happening. You're like, wow, Angel Share. It really is a class act, Opus X. And I really appreciate Stephen J for this cigar. God bless you for that. I'm in like a heavy medium plus. It's definitely not medium full at all. I'm in the last third, so obviously that's as strong as that thing's gonna get. About 65% darkness, but a sweet succulent cigar with a long heavy finish, very tasty. I wouldn't smoke this as a second cigar because whatever you smoke before this, it's gonna ruin the Opus X experience. So if you're gonna smoke an Opus X, have it as your first cigar and enjoy the hell out of it. Very, 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 very long, heavy flavor on that. Beautiful, delicious, godlike cigar. Massively appreciate that, Stephen J. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming down tonight, Jeremy. Fun as always. Great to talk to you. I'm glad you enjoyed that cigar, and that's interesting to try a unique size with 10 years of age, and it still held up, and it was still great. I'm glad to hear that. But yeah, I think like 5 years would be a cutoff where like for my personal preference. Of course, I would still have tried a cigar with 7 or 10 years on it, but I think 5 years like is more than enough time if you want to age something, because you get to 10 years. At what point does a cigar have like diminished returns or like you're like it starts losing too much volume? You can still enjoy it, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, that's a personal preference for me. I mean, I know guys that prefer cigars aged, 10 years, 20 years, but like, I don't know. I can't afford to be shopping around for 20-year aged cigars. But hey, God bless everyone. Uncle Larry, everyone stay fresh. Autobots, you let me down. I'll see you around.